Hello, I'm Incarnate, bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Today we're smashing out a review of the game Human Fall Flat by No Break Studios. This game is a puzzle / climbing game which tasks you with getting through 11 levels full of puzzles and climbing obstacles. I enjoyed this game, and I got this game in early access before it hit Steam, but I enjoyed it so much I decided to actually finish the game completely and get most of the achievements before doing my review. And I am not disappointed by the time I spent. Before we get into this game and why I enjoy it so much, let's have a look at the options menu. Now this game is another game in Unity, and this is an example of the options menu being done right. The fact that so many people get the options menu wrong in Unity is kind of a bit of a problem, because I'm having to mention this in every single review. But it's nice to see that the developer here has correctly implemented sound in the game. The default sound that you're hearing is pretty good. I had to make minimal changes to the volume. In addition to changing the master volume, you can change the sound effects, the music, and the voice volume. You can also turn on and off the subtitles. In video, there is the option to change the brightness, the screen resolution, and the option for full screen. And in advanced video options, there are a number of presets. This is similar to the presets in Unity, but the developers actually been kind enough to give us the different options that we can change by selecting each of these presets. You can also select a custom preset to match your system specifications. Very good. Now, as for the controls, you're able to use the keyboard and mouse or a controller. The default controls for this game were excellent. I only had to change one key, which was the play dead key, which was in an odd spot with T. You only use that at one point of the game anyway. There is an option to use the controller, but personally I prefer the mouse and keyboard. Moving your character does require a little bit of finesse, and the mouse did give me a little bit more control than using a controller, but that's just my opinion. Console players may enjoy using the controller more. You're able to customize your character, and this is where I found an intermittent bug in the game. By painting your character and then cancelling out, you will occasionally cause your character to become very distorted. Their arms and legs will twist out of the screen, and it will become a giant ball of a mess. Now this happens only intermittently, once in every 3 times, but I thought I would mention it. But yeah, you can paint your character to a degree, can customize him, and you can also add your own face if you have a webcam, all through the customize menu. Finally, the extras menu allows you to access the tutorials, both the text tutorials and the videos. And that's it. An options menu, very well done. No complaints from me. So let's get a bit into the game, and I'm going to tell you why I think this game is fantastic and why you should buy it. And here we are in the game. We're on the first level, and already we have our first tutorial here. We start the tutorial by picking up this video block here.
You've just grabbed an instructional video. Hold it tight.
The video will stop if we drop the object. It would be nice if it hung on to where we were at.
You've just grabbed an...
But again, any object can be interacted with. We can throw the video off the edge of the level if we so wish, and it will come back. So the first thing you'll notice about this game is its very minimalist nature. A lot of the walls and the textures have a very plain plain texture, and this is probably my only gripe with the game off the bat. The walls, the textures, there's no custom, I suppose, customization. There's no textures on the walls, no actual different colors. Everything's kind of this pastel style color. Now you can see here that what I'm doing is I'm taking a bit of a shortcut, and you'll find that you can do that a lot in this game. if once you get good at climbing, you'll be able to bypass some of the puzzles. Some of the more difficult puzzles in the game, you can actually get around them completely. And to be honest, on the last level, I actually didn't solve some of the puzzles. I ended up climbing like I'm doing now. So what I've done is I bypassed that puzzle room there, and instead of doing the puzzle and coming out here, I've just basically skipped it. Same here. It depends on how good you are at climbing in the game.
Grab opportunities with both of their hands.
Half the
Yet
fun
they can't fly.
half the
Never
fun
will.
of finishing this level is that you get to see your character plummet to the next one. There we go. So yeah, as I said, the only gripe with the game is that the game is very minimalist in terms of its colours. The level design's quite good, but the actual textures and colours, I think they could have done a little bit more work on. Again, it's a minor gripe when compared to the rest of this game, which is pretty good, very, very good. So here we have a dumpster, and this is the first example of many of the items in game that we can just play with. So you can do the puzzles if you want, or you can treat this game like a bit of a playground. So we've got this dumpster, and I'm just basically jumping around, riding around in it like a car. Now, the other thing in the game you can do as well is there's multiple ways through a puzzle. You can solve the puzzle many different ways, but you can also use your climbing skills to complete a level. So in some levels you may not even need to do a puzzle. You could use a shortcut. You can climb over an obstacle. I mean, this is a good example here. We can climb over this wall if we wish. We can climb here, and by using our parkour skills, we can swing our character up higher. Your character's hands are kind of like, think of them like glue. He will stick to any surface as long as you hold the mouse button down. You have the left mouse button to grab with the left hand and the right mouse button to grab with the right. So again, we're skipping a large puzzle here in the game. We're skipping this room. Well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. And we're also going to skip this puzzle. Whoops. Now, I will actually solve some puzzles, but I wanted to demonstrate how much fun it is to try and work out. There's never just one way to actually do a puzzle. And the better you get at climbing, the more you'll realise that you can actually get around most of the puzzles without even having to solve them. So you can see here my character's a bit twisted, and it takes a bit of you getting used to. The character does move in this very odd way, but once you get good at it, you can see here that I've skipped that entire puzzle. Now the puzzle was to move these trains. I'll show you the way that you're supposed to do it properly. What you're supposed to do is move these trains. This one here. You can see here we move this train to make a platform for us to jump across. Now you jump on things by what I suggest you do is you hold your left and right mouse buttons down, and you jump for an object, and even if you can't make it like this, you'll grab onto the edge of the object and be able to pull yourself up. As you get better in the game, you'll actually be able to use that swinging trick I showed you earlier, and you'll be able to bypass most of the puzzles in the game. Now we've gotten through that level in record time. We've skipped most of the puzzles that you have to do. And that's pretty much it. You go through the level, you solve puzzles with switches and pressure switches, regular switches, different blocks, environmental hazards like water, and you basically go through the entire game trying to make it through the level. And how you make it through the level is completely up to you. So if this was just the extent of the game already, I would say, yeah, this is pretty solid. I like this game. But the thing about this game is that it actually gets better and better as you go. Later on in the game, the puzzles get more tricky. They introduce vehicles, they introduce different environmental hazards like water, and yeah, the game gets very challenging. But never so challenging that a child couldn't do it. So this game is a very good game for children. Let's, rather than go on any further in this level, I'm going to skip to a bit later in the game, and I'm going to show you some of the vehicles and hazards that you have to look forward to. So this is the water level, and in my opinion is probably the best level in the game, definitely the one that I enjoyed the most. The reason why I loved it so much is because you get control over several different vehicles in the level, and not all of them are easy to control. My favourite was this rowboat. Now the process of moving the rowboat is that you literally have to move your character back and forward with the oars to control the boat. Now the other thing too is that there's this raft on our right hand side here. You can use a raft or you can use a motorboat. Now the motorboat's probably the most frustrating, so the process of getting it into the water is actually very long and convoluted, so I'm not going to use the motorboat, but I will show you the raft. But going back into why I like this game, it's just the level of detail for this game. An indie game, which is, it's just basically a climbing game, but it's so much fun. It's just a climbing puzzle game, but it's so much fun. I've never played a game like this before. I've played plenty of puzzle games, but a lot of them don't have a combination of climbing in them as well. And I've never had a game where you've actually been given the choice. The game doesn't penalise you for picking a different way of finishing the level. You have complete freedom in regards to the means by which you complete the levels. And if you want to use a raft, if you want to use the power boat, if you want to skip the boats entirely and just try and navigate the level by climbing, that's completely up to you. And that's where the fun of this game lies. Now, the other fun too is actually controlling the character. So the character actually is pretty hard to control. And even though this probably looks like I'm actually not doing a very good job, until you've actually played the game and you've seen how hard it is to actually control this character, then you really don't know. It's an interesting thing at the least. Now the other thing too is that the game is a bit short. I have to mention that at the moment. It is short. The levels in the game, as I said, there's only about 10 levels, 10 or 11 levels, and you will finish this game. Once you get good, you can probably finish the game by maybe a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, you'll finish the game. But the fun is in the experience, and the fun is also coming back to finish the game again. Now, the reason why there is some replay value in this game is because of the achievements. The developers actually put a lot of thought into the achievements, and they aren't just complete this level in this time. Do this level, skip X part of the level. There's a lot of things that are fun, like there's an achievement to make it through a section of this level without getting wet. There's an achievement where you ride around in the dumpster. There's an achievement where you electrocute yourself. So all the achievements in the game are fun. The developers actually put some thought into the game, and they've put a lot of thought into the actual replay value of the game itself, because you're going to finish this game like I did in probably about 4 hours on your first attempt, but I guarantee that you'll probably play this game more than once, because you'll get to the end of the game, you'll get really good at climbing, and then you'll be like me, where you'll go, well, I wonder if I can skip the game. I wonder if I even need to do these puzzles. And you'll end up playing the game again and again and try and get all of the achievements in the game. So replay value in this game, I think it may not be as high as other titles, but I would say you would get a solid 5 or 6 hours of this game, at least. Now, unfortunately, the only thing for this game is the price. The price is a little bit higher than average. It's about $14.99 on Steam at the moment. Now, $15 for a game like this with only 6 hours is a little bit high, but I'm still going to recommend it because I was so impressed by the detail put into this game. And I think that a lot of people, it's going to be the experience of playing this. People who don't like puzzle games like me are still going to enjoy this game. And I think that anyone who has an interest in indie games and Unity games and what can be done in Unity should definitely play this game. I recommend this game to anyone who enjoys puzzle games and anyone who is interested in becoming a Unity developer or just wants to see what can be done in Unity, because this is very impressive. Along with 7 Days to Die, this is one of the most interesting and smart ways that I've ever seen the Unity engine being used. I absolutely love this game, and I think I hope the developer goes on to make some really fantastic titles. I'm eagerly waiting for anticipation with the developer's next title. So I have to give this game one of the highest scores. I don't think I've ever given a game a score as high as this. I'd have to give this game a 9 out of 10. And as befitting a game of this caliber, I've decided to come up with a new award for indie games that really, really impress me. And given that I am the GOAT and my avatar is a goat, I've decided to award this game the Golden Goat. The Golden Goat is an award for indie games where the developer has created something completely new, completely original, and the quality of the game is nearly on par with what I would expect from a AAA developer. And I definitely think that this game, with a little bit more polish, could be sold as a AAA game. I have played AAA games where I have been more dissatisfied with the experience than this game. Far more. So I absolutely love this game. I cannot recommend it enough. I think that $15, while a little bit high, is certainly worth the price of asking. 6 hours of entertainment from this game at the least, but it will be one of the most fun 6 hours you will ever play. So if you enjoyed this review, please subscribe to my channel and please check this game out. I am so impressed by this. I have not played a game like this in ever. Of all the games that I've received from developers, this is probably the best one I've played. Second runner-up being Varag P's clicker titles, which were also very good. So check this game out, and yeah, we'll see you for the next review. Skill Incarnate out.